I've been misled. We've been misled. No, just listen to what I'm saying. Or what if everything we've been led to believe in is a lie? What if there is no alien conspiracy?
Mulder, what are you talking about?
I'm talking about everything we've been led to believe. Our work, the X-Files, everything. Scully, are you ready for this?
I don't know if there's a choice.
We have a small problem. They've reopened the X-Files.
You are listening to X-Files Addicts exclusively on Southgate Media Network. Join Christy and Dianne for the latest news, interviews, and breakdown of each new episode from the fans' point of view of Season 10 of The X-Files. X-Files Addicts, bringing you a new perspective on a government conspiracy to hide the truth.
Scully, since we've been away, much of the unexplained has been explained. I'm a middle-aged man, Scully. I'm thinking maybe it's time to put away childish things. The Sasquatches and Mothmen and jackalopes. I thought it'd be great to get back to work. But is this really how I want to spend the rest of my days? Chasing after monsters? Looks like you gave it a pretty good shot.
I think I hit it right in its horn.
It had a horn? Like a unicorn?
The thing I saw only had two eyes, and it was wearing underwear.
Boxers or briefs?
Tidy whities. I told the officers it slithered off that way, but they think I'm on crack.
Are you?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's this new camera app. I'm not sure if it's working right.
What is up with your phone?
I don't know, it's this new app. I don't know if it's working right.
So you take a picture or video?
I don't know.
Go to settings.
What?
Go to the settings. Where?
But what is it?
It's a close-up of the creature. Now, mind you, I didn't say monster. It shot blood at me from out its eyeball, Scully.
Animals don't shoot blood out of their eyeballs.
Oh, no? Well, tell that to the horned lizard, which shoots blood out its eyeball, Scully. Yes, it's a defense mechanism. Scientific fact.
Mulder, the internet is not good for you. What, so now you're saying that you were attacked by a 6-foot horny toad?
A man-sized horned lizard with human teeth. Sounds a bit silly, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You're really enjoying yourself, aren't you, Scully?
Yeah, I am. I forgot how much fun these cases could be.
It's a monster, Scully, plain and simple. And not just your everyday run-of-the-mill monster, but we're talking transformation here. Man into monster and back again. To which I know you're going to say, but Mulder, that only happens in werewolf myths that were originally concocted to explain away the violent behavior of people who'd been bitten by rabid animals before the medical discovery of rabies. But is it so outlandish to believe that some legends are based on actual occurrences and not just ignorance? To which I know what you're going to say, Scully. You're going to say, but Mulder, it defies every known law of science and nature. Exactly, Scully, every known law. What if this creature that we've stumbled upon is here to create a whole new paradigm for our understanding of life itself? Or maybe science was used to create this unnatural being. Maybe this is some GMO experiment run amok by some military agro big pharma corporation. Maybe this guy is its chief geneticist who recklessly experimented on himself and now transforms into a fiend who needs to feast on human flesh. To which I know you're going to say, but Mulder, that sounds like the paranoid ravings of some lunatic madman. I don't know what this thing is, Scully, and I don't know exactly how it came to be. All I'm saying is it's a monster.
Yeah, this is how I like my Mulder.
So you're agreeing with me?
No! You're bat crap crazy.
Ever since I became a human, I can't help but lie about my sex life.
I'm wondering if I can ask you some questions. I think maybe my phone isn't working right, because guys don't send me pictures of their junk on it. I think maybe I'd like to take a picture of yours. Come on. I want to make you say cheese.
You're the Fuzz?
I'm in town investigating the murders.
And you think I'd do something like that? What kind of a monster do you think I am? You didn't want to help me. You just wanted to arrest me for something I didn't do. Who takes advantage of someone like that? A human. That's who. Human rat-fink. I'm not delusional. I know what I am. I'm no monster. You're the monster. J'accuse, Monsieur Mulder.
Welcome to X-Files Addicts, everyone. Today is it's actually February 6th, 2016. My name is Chrissy. I'm your host. I'm here with my co-host, Dianne. Hi, Dianne. How are you?
I'm good, Chrissy. How are you?
Good. Hanging in there. Oh, my gosh. Last week's episode was epic.
It was really terrific.
Oh, my gosh. I loved it so much. Before we get going, I just wanted to say the live plus the same day ratings were 2.6. I think it bumped it up another point in the 3-day, if I'm correct. I don't know that for sure, so don't quote me on that. But oh my gosh, it was so much fun to tweet on Twitter with everybody watching it.
Oh, I bet it was.
Yeah, it's been crazy. But, I think mostly people just really enjoyed the, it was a throwback to all the Monster of the Week episodes that we absolutely loved, over the years.
I agree. I think that was one of the things that was really delightful about it.
Well, I'll read a few tweets here. Justin Hall said, "Okay, Mulder chasing a monster with a smartphone is the best thing I've seen in TV in 2016. That was just hilarious, I'm telling you. And I mean, only the X-Files would twist it to where the monster was turned into a human and is just mortified.
I have a lot to say about that, so I'm really looking forward to talking about that part of the episode.
I know. Oh, my goodness. Somebody at Dylan AC said, oh, my God, the stoners are back. X-Files casting has been perfect for its use of classic guesties. I was just like, oh, my goodness. Let's see, I'll do one more. Let's see, what's another good one? Oh, yeah. At Queequeg09. Wow, heartbroken. Mulder, Scully, and William, beautiful scene, still crying. Yeah.
Oh,
there were some
from
great
last
scenes.
week.
Yeah. Anyway. So yeah, I mean, basically overall, I think everybody was just like, this is classic X-Files. It was written and directed by Darren Morgan, and interesting, I mean, everybody that's an X-Filer should know, obviously, he was the Fluke Man. He played Eddie Van Blunt in Small Potatoes. He penned The Host, Humbug, Blood, Clyde Bruckman's Final Repose, one of my favorite episodes, with, what was his name, Peter Boyle.
Yes.
War of the I never say it right.
Coprophagus.
Thank you. I knew I was going to say that. And Jose Chung's From Outer Space. I mean, the cockroach one, I literally thought I had a cockroach falling across my TV screen when I saw that episode. Oh, my goodness. Well, why don't you tell us what were your thoughts on Mulder and Scully Need a Ware Monster?
Well, so first off, I'm going to give it 9.8 out of 10 existential crises. Excuse me, because I actually thought that the existential crisis for Mulder and for the Lizard Man were beautiful, and they were such good foils for each other. So I really enjoyed that. I've got excellent parallels. I have a little bit of trivia that's kind of fun. The fellow who played the animal control officer, his name is is Kumail Nanjiani. I hope I'm saying it right. He actually has an X-Files podcast also called the X-Files Files.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and he actually did. He did an interview with Mulder and Scully from the tent that they had as a set piece, and podcasted that on his podcast. It's a really fun listen. So
that is awesome.
I wanted to make sure people knew that.
Very cool.
That was my biggie as far as my my trivia goes, but I really enjoyed that greatly. So
yeah, I mean the whole thing from the moment that you see the stone witnesses,
yes,
deep in the forest, you know, it just your mind is catapulted back to. I mean, you know what it reminded me of, and I can't think of the name of the episode. Is when what's his name? Oh my goodness, I'm completely blanking on all these people. What's his name? He's really Seth Green when he was the stoner, and
how
waiting.
funny.
And he was looking in he was waiting for the UFO, and Mulder had that picture from the cafe. You know, that whole thing. That's the episode that kind of like catapulted me back to that episode. It was in season 1. I think it was like the second or third episode, if I remember correctly. But
I'm really looking forward to our retrospective because I need to get refreshed on all of those old episodes.
Me too. We're gonna have to have a X-Filers retrospect viewing party online or something.
That would be really cool.
Yeah, I think that we should definitely do that for sure. Well, I loved. What did you think of the nods to the original series? The Red.
Well, so actually, I'm looking at your notes, and I did have another little piece of trivia, and this comes from that Nerdist interview that I mentioned. I think it was last week. So Mulder in the red Speedo, he actually did, when he was a struggling actor, a commercial in which he was in a red Speedo and dancing for the bulk of the commercial.
Oh, my God. That's hilarious. And
so I just think it's really, really funny how they made that little nod.
Yeah, that's great. I know. He's so, well, you know, of course, all of us, the minute I saw him in that red Speedo, I was like, hit the floor.
And the hotel owner spying on him.
Yeah, that was just priceless. I mean, first of all, you know you're in a scary motel when there are all these dead, you know, animals on the wall. Just back away from the motel as quickly as possible.
Right.
There's got to be some roaming eyes going on in there. Oh my God! And the manager or whatever drinking regular alcohol. I was like, what?
I was going to ask you that because I didn't see the label quite right, and I was like, is he drinking rubbing alcohol?
Yeah, I think it was rubbing alcohol. He was trying to fix his wound. He was sanitizing his wound with the rubbing alcohol, and then he drinks it. I was like, ew, my God. That guy's stomach
is so funny.
I know. Crazy. And I love the Queequeg.
Mm-hmm.
I love the kind of flashback to that. Poor Queequeg. He didn't last very long, but he sure made a lasting impression.
I kind of wonder if we're going to see this dog again.
I hope so. I think it was hilarious.
Well, you know, the last we saw of the dog, Scully was running away with it, so.
Yeah, you know, hey, man, she hightailed it out of there with him. With Joku. What kind of a crazy name is that? Joku.
It's got to be a were lizard name. I mean, there's just no translation in English, I'm sure.
Totally. I just started laughing. I was just like, oh, my goodness. You got to worry. And I love that they did the Kim Manners tribute. The
tombstone.
At the cemetery. That was...
Yes.
I was so upset when I heard he died. I mean, he was working on Supernatural at the time that he died, and in 2009, and he's done. I mean, he directed the final, the series finale episode of the X-Files. So.
And you know, I didn't realize it until I was looking online, but they actually dedicated the second season of Breaking Bad and the fourth season of Supernatural to him, which I thought was really cool.
Did. Yeah, I mean, he was such a great director, and it was just a sad moment. I think it was a great loss for television. I mean,
this is kind of off topic, but do you know how he died? I didn't see that in the wiki when I checked.
If I remember, I want to say it may have been a heart attack. Something like that.
Okay.
Something like out of the blue. Like, I don't think it was an accident. I'll have to look that up again. I thought it was a heart attack, as I recall. But yeah, something like that.
But you're right. I think, when you think about the broad influence in the rest of television, I think it was a huge loss.
Yeah, almost definitely. So what did you think of the beginning of the episode? Of course, oh my gosh, Mulder throwing pencils at our poster. What's up with that?
Well, my first thought was, when did Scully get that poster? Because she walked in and she said, "Mulder, that's my poster."
I know. That's what I was wondering. Now all of a sudden she's the believer, or she's got the I want to believe, and he's the skeptic. I love how they flipped it sort of this season a little bit. And he's questioning.
I have to tell you, I'm kind of wondering, are they setting us up for it to be over by turning Mulder into the skeptic?
No,
and I really hope
so.
That's not the case.
I don't think so. Geez, I can't tell you anything. Next, in this episode coming up on Monday, called Home Again, Scully's going to receive something, and I think I figured out what it is, and I can't talk about it. But I think that they'll leave it so that they can jump back in on another season. I do. I think that the sixth episode, I don't think it's going to be like a wrap-up series thing. I think they're going to leave it open. I really do.
I so hope you're right. I mean, I know we've talked about that, and I just, especially watching Mulder be such a skeptic in this, I was like, no.
I was wrong. Kim Manners had lung cancer. He died January 25th, 2009. Yes. Kim.
That's a hard way to go.
Yeah, it is. Oh, my goodness. Anyway, rest in peace, my friend.
Yeah. And thank you for everything.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness. So many great episodes. I mean, I'm a Supernatural fan, major. I mean, I watched it since... I remember where I was when I watched the pilot episode.
That's cool.
Yeah, so that's how hardcore I was on that one. So and of course Breaking Bad was phenomenal.
It's such a great show. Yeah.
Oh, God, so good. But anyway, so go ahead. Sorry, I think I cut you off.
No, like I said, I was just really thinking about Mulder as the skeptic and worrying that was potentially some sort of clue, and I'm really hopeful that you are absolutely right that it's not. So
well, I kind of got the feeling he's going through a midlife crisis for sure. I think it was very interesting. He's going over all of these cases and he's throwing them all away like before,
right.
He had such, he was bright-eyed, in the beginning, and now through, things that he's gone through and the thing that they've gone through and everything, now he's just questioning, like, what, did I waste my life, basically.
So do you think, though, did you see that light in his eyes again at the end of this episode? Because I really felt like we saw that come back.
Yes, I did. I think moving forward, he's just not going to be as willing to believe almost. You know, I mean, the whole thing is I want to believe. He wants to believe, and it's always been he's believed. You know what I mean? Like, he's just always had that blind faith and always
and maybe these episodes, maybe these episodes will raise his threshold for belief. It's still there, but it's a higher threshold.
Exactly. That's what my assessment is of the situation at this juncture. But,
although after seeing the lizard man dance under the full moon, I mean, how could he not be convinced?
Oh my God! Though when they did the reenactment thing, he tries to scare him away, and then he's like running, and he's screaming, and then the tranny hits him with the purse. I'm like, this is so X-Files.
So I kind of struggled with that, I've got to tell you really honestly, because I thought, okay, that's a really great moment of Chris Carter bringing, again, this into the 21st century and, you know, us understanding trans people better being so common. But at the same time, common's not maybe a great word. We have a better understanding of what it's like to transition, I think, than we had when the X-Files was shown originally. But at the same time, I was like, oh, the stereotype is painful. And then I thought, well, the stereotypes are shorthand. There's a reason that stereotypes exist. It's a rapid way of communicating with people. And they may not be ideal and they may not be politically correct, but they are a shorthand.
Exactly. Well, you know, in the line about, well, they think I'm a crack. Well, you are, aren't you? Well, yeah.
Yeah, that was kind of painful, too, quite honestly.
Yeah, it was.
But,
and then, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. I was just going to say, then having it leading into the whole conversation around Guy Man, the lizard man, or the were lizard, saying, well, maybe that's the solution for me. Maybe I can transition. And Mulder was like, no.
No. And then he's like, they chop off your genitals. I guess I'll just leave it at that. No. Not me. But I thought I loved I didn't look up. I'm such a bad host. I didn't even look up the name of the actor. I love the guy that played the were lizard and how he described. You know, I mean, first he wakes up, he's naked, he needs to cover himself. He had the urge to cover himself. Then he has the urge, he's got to get a job, which is just too funny. And then he's, like, mortified that he ate a burger. and he, you know, he ate a burger, and then, of course, they have to bring in the porn, watches porn, you know.
Right.
And he was just so mortified about the entire experience and trying to sort of understand, you know, why does he need to have all this, you know? Why is it so ingrained in him as being a human? And what were your thoughts on his whole story that he told Mulder?
Well, so, you know, here we go again. I'm probably reading way more into it, but I thought this is a perfect illustration of the crisis that we all have with being human. I mean, as someone who's kind of trying to figure out where to fit in corporate America and doing a really terrible job, I related to this character so much. Like when he says to Mulder, and this is roughly paraphrased, you know, for the love of God, just kill me. Don't make me go back to work again.
I can't get up and go to work again.
I know, and I mean, I was writing down all of his quotes, like when he said that he was possessed by the hunt for a job, and then he says, rather tragically, I found something right away. I think it just plays into that whole, you know, we're exhausted by the culture that we've built for ourselves, and here is this were lizard who is living proof that actually being a human kind of sucks sometimes.
Yeah. I mean, and the fact that he got a job, he was the manager, you know, by the end of the day, the end of the first day. And he was, and I loved when he was saying, you know, well, you know, I don't even know what I was saying to these people, but they liked it, so.
And they don't know what I'm saying either.
either. Exactly. And it was just, it was priceless. And
it really was.
I do think that Chris Carter is great at, it's a subliminal message within the dialogue. And
he does a great job of shining a light on things that we're all really struggling with, but in a humorous way.
Exactly. And that's exactly what this episode was, for me anyway. I loved every moment of it. I remember when I first saw it, I just couldn't stop laughing. It was so funny. I think I've watched it 4 times at this point.
I rewatched it for the podcast, and I was so glad I watched it a second time because there was so much. It was great to just be able to peel at all of those layers,
Yeah. Well, I just think it's hilarious that Scully has been sort of approaching these suspects by herself, which Mulder pointed out. Which is like, he's like, that's the second time you need backup, and she's just like, Miss Superwoman now, she just goes in and but what did you think? I love the thing about, I've got, what did he say? He says, I've got the one thing that no other animal on the face of the earth has, the ability
I've got
to
it
bullshit.
written down.
The
ability to BS my way through anything.
Yeah. I wish they could have said the actual bullshit, because it would have been great. But, and Mulder's like, are you bullshitting me now?
Yes. And he's like, maybe.
Maybe. I don't know. Possibly. So, it was so great. And it's true. And then, of course, he's lying about his sex life. The scene
that
with Scully,
was classic.
That was
and I have to say, Gillian Anderson's, her acting during that moment, the way she kind of played it so flat, was so great.
Oh, you're an animal.
Yeah.
I want you to, nobody's taking pictures of their junk and sending it to me. Oh, my God. And I love that, Mulder's like, that didn't happen. I just can't stop lying about my sex life.
One of the things that I loved that Scully said in the episode, and it was fairly early on, is she kind of cocked her head and said, I've forgotten how much fun some of these cases are. And I felt like she was really breaking that fourth wall and speaking for all of us,
I agree. Well, she was, I think that she was very, just from the beginning, I think she was intrigued by it all. I think that going in, she was very, very skeptical, always, countering Mulder, pushing him to really, let's see what really this is, And I think over the years, it's been great because she's evolved. The character has evolved so much after everything she's seen, and it really just, I think it's, it is fun. I just can't believe we only have 3 episodes left. It's just, so frustrating. We need more than 6.
It's really hard to believe.
Yeah, we need 10 episodes next season. That's my assessment.
I'm enjoying that you're already banking on the next season. That makes me feel good.
Yeah. Well, I aim high. I always say shoot for the gold, and I do all the time. Whether I get it or not is another question. But
right.
Well, what other aspects did you like about the episode?
Well, this is going back to bringing up Scully's first dog, but I love the way, and I mean, this is coming from someone who lives in rural Alaska and lives with 15 dogs and 3 horses.
Right.
The guy man says, the only way to be happy as a human was to spend all of your time in the company of non-humans.
Yeah, that was fantastic.
And I thought, oh my goodness, that so describes my life. I just related to that character so much.
Well, yeah, and it's true. I mean, I have a kitty, and it's true. It's what did that say
Most
about
days you'd rather be with your cat.
Yeah. you know, and the deeper question is, you know, why do we sort of, what's the word? Why do we gravitate towards our animals versus other humans? You know?
I think they can't hurt us the way that other humans can, you know?
Well, yeah, it's the unconditional love and the non-judgment, you know, that's why I think, and unfortunately with humans, you know, you don't get that. I mean, if you're lucky, you get it with your parents, but other than that, you know, I think it just kind of broke down. It sort of made me think about society today and about, you know, how we're having to sort of survive or, you know, we kind of build our little worlds around us. And I think more and more, especially with the Internet, even though we're connecting all over the world now, I think that we are sort of isolating ourselves in a bigger picture. And I think that the episode definitely speaks to that.
And I agree, and I do think it's not just that existential struggle of being a worker and kind of trying to figure out where you fit into human society, but it's also just that pervasive sense of aloneness that so many struggle with, and that loneliness that so many struggle with.
Yeah, and I agree with you on that. I mean, and I felt so bad. My heart broke. You know, he's looking for Deku. He's looking all this crushing, you know, pain of loss, and then he sees the guy. He sees the guy that did this to him, and he's filled with the only thing that humans are filled with, you know, revenge. That's all he wanted, and then he was mortified. He was like just disgusted by, you know, the savagery of this human, and he was attacking another person, and it was just perfect, you know. He was just like, I just want to strip my clothes and go back into the wild.
And so how interesting is it, I just thought of this, to kind of have that outsider's lens looking at us. Yeah,
I know. And I would, I feel like we've been under the lens for a long time as other people, other living beings around in our universe and maybe elsewhere. I mean, I think we've all been under the lens, and people are seeing what's going on, and that we are on the brink of World War III. We're on the brink of complete destruction, you know, so this episode kind of made me sort of reevaluate and think about all of that.
Which is funny, considering, on the other hand, it's a humorous one-off monster of the week, but it's not really.
No. And the thing is about this season is even though this was a standalone episode, it really made you think. As a whole so far, and you'll see the next two episodes. I've been able to preview the next two episodes. But you'll see. I know. Oh my gosh, I can't wait to talk about Babylon. Holy moly. It's hilarious. Oh my goodness. Anyway, you know, every single episode I think has a message in it, and it does make you. It sort of mirrors what's going on in the world, in some way, and I think it's brilliant what Chris Carter did this season. I think people need to start opening their eyes, for sure.
I think it's really great to have something, you know, that some people just look at as fun science fiction, really illuminating bigger truths. I mean, whether or not you believe in aliens or believe in some of the conspiracy that's put forth, there's still so much deep truth. And especially in an episode like this, again, that just points the spotlight at the struggle of being in a human body.
Yep.
Tone. I laughed that Mark Snow's music was his ringtone. Just little things like that.
The 21st century technology that Mulder just cannot, for whatever reason, master. The whole, like, photo thing was hilarious. I think there's something wrong with my photo app. We got these flashes. I mean, they're supposed to be looking for a suspect. And when he opens, that was hilarious. He opens the porta pot, takes a picture of the guy. He's like, sorry, closes the door, but yet they saw the creature go in there, and he doesn't even question it. I thought that was funny. I was like, what? And
it was a very nice reveal, having the actor come out, or having the character come out and having his horns just kind of slide back into his head.
Exactly.
Those were fun. That was a fun reveal.
The best line of this episode, and thus far, I think, in this season, is, Mulder, the internet is not good for you.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
That actually reminds me of something else. Her asking him if he's taking his meds.
Yeah.
And then also saying, "This is the Mulder I love."
Yes. This is my Mulder. This is the Mulder
I
love. Yeah, I was just like, oh my gosh. That whole little scene at the autopsy table was just classic.
Oh, yeah, when he was, like, in her face, kind of getting in the way of doing the autopsy, that was hilarious.
Well, it was reminiscent of the pilot. Remember when he's like, he's taking pictures of the whatever it was that they dug up, and he's like, what is it? And she's like, can you please point that flash away from me? Because he was getting in her face. And that's what I was, that's what it reminded me of a lot. And, but yeah, I love that she's getting into it. She's getting back into the cases and she's having fun with it. And I think it's amazing. So
one other thing that I wanted to bring up, just because I wrote this down when I was thinking about stereotypes also, was just the whole stereotype of the psychiatrist.
Yes!
Oh, I apologize for my dog.
That's okay.
He was incredibly funny, and I just thought, again, he's such a stereotype, but also it's such a shorthand for getting us to where we need to be as the audience. And I loved what he brought up in terms of the, with the green glass, killing the monster by stabbing him in the appendix, and then our monster decides to try that. And I thought, oh, this is suicide by cop.
Right. And Mulder's like, I know what you're trying to do.
Right.
It was just, I know. And another stereotypical thing, I mean, we all think that, and probably they do, sorry, psychologists out there, psychiatrists, they take their own medicine, and he hands Mulder a prescription. I was like, oh, that's typical. Just take this, so you'll feel better. And I love the fact that the Ware Monster was like, yeah, it just made me really fuzzy. My mind's so fuzzy. It really didn't help me. Well, that's the whole thing. Nothing helped.
It was very funny.
Yeah.
And
I wish he would have. Oh, go ahead.
Oh. No, I just was going to perseverate on that, so no, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say it would have been great if they would have, like, played up to that, the health system, the medication maybe a little bit more, because have him get really, like, sick from it or something, because, I mean, that's a whole other ball of wax, that they could have sort of subliminally stuck in there.
We could potentially see that yet if we get our William episode.
I know. Oh, my goodness. William. Poor William. I'm anxious to see if we're going to see my feeling is season 11 should be about getting, maybe, I don't know, maybe the smoking man has him. I just think there's something up with that whole, why are they, I mean, they're bringing it up obviously because, Mulder and Scully, they need to deal with it, and they're still dealing with the guilt, and and especially after Founder's mutation,
right.
Wondering what happened to their son. Could that be happening to him? The fears that they've been dealing with. And you'll see, in the next couple. The next couple episodes. This next episode is very, very emotional. I think it's the most emotional episode that of the season so far, anyway, that I've seen for Mulder and Scully. So. I'm anxious to see what they're going to do with William. I feel like I said, I feel like season 11 should be about him. I mean, I actually had written a screenplay all about, William, and where, he in my thing he was like 16, and it's a long story, but I think they could do a lot with it. If they choose to move forward with that in season 11. I mean, I think we need to see him, don't you?
I do too. I think by bringing it up, by reminding us of what could have been with William, and by reminding us of, he would be 15 now, and I think they're setting us up.
Yeah,
I think they need to do it.
I think so too. I think they will. I mean, it's sort of like that missing piece that we need to see. And, well, do you have any other, before I go on, I'm just going to mention a few things with the upcoming episodes. Do you have anything else you want to add to the Mulder and Scully meet the Ware Monster?
It was just the sheer ecstasy of watching the Ware Monster wear all of our traumas on his sleeve. It was just, I just appreciated that character so much. Definitely one of my favorite episodes of all time.
Yeah, oh, totally. I mean, it was so funny. I did read a few tweets where people were like, they didn't like it. I was like, oh my gosh, you're not an X-Filer if you didn't like this episode. That's my opinion. And
how can you not get the Monster of the Week?
I don't know. That's the thing. I was just like, oh my goodness, holy moly. How can you not like it? It was fabulous. And it was. Said, I mean, it really spoke to the human condition, and that's what I think it was about. And that's what we were faced with looking at ourselves in this episode. And that's what I loved about it.
I agree. Oh, one other thing. I did feel like at the end, where they were busting the animal control guy, and they were going on and on about him being a serial killer and all of that. I thought this was kind of like a Scooby-Doo episode at the end, where they unmasked the monster to find the little old man.
Exactly. Well, and I love save it for the trial.
Yes.
How many stories have they heard over the years? They don't want to hear it again.
Yeah.
That was epic.
It was just a beautifully done episode.
It really was. I mean, I think it was amazing, and I think the next episode is very, very emotional. Mulder and Scully are sent to investigate the murder of a city official, which it seems no human could have committed. Meanwhile, Scully deals with personal tragedy, which brings up many old feelings about the child she gave away for adoption. I'm going to give, my scale is I'm giving the case that sort of, within it, I'm only giving a 6. I wasn't thrilled with the actual case, the city official and the murders and all that.
Okay.
But the emotional aspect and Mulder and Scully stuff was like a 9 for me.
Okay.
I felt like, it's great to see. The thing about this season that I've seen, that it's just been wonderful to see, the evolution of these characters and where they are now and what how they deal with things is a lot differently, I think, than early on in the series. I think that's why I liked Home Again. I liked it for the emotional aspect, not the case.
I know it's going to tear up my heart if you're saying that. So
yeah, it was good, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Scully received something that I think is the key to something to do with William. That's my theory. But,
interesting.
Well, I can't wait to talk to you about it next week. Now, Babylon, oh my gosh. There is again, they are bringing world news, things that are happening in the world, into this episode. An art gallery is showing a potentially offensive artwork, and it is bombed. Mulder and Scully seek some way to communicate with the comatose bomber in order to prevent a future attack. Meanwhile, a pair of younger FBI agents on the case push Mulder and Scully to examine their own beliefs as Scully seeks answers from neuroscience and Mulder from mysticism. Now, the younger agent, I swear to God, it's like another Mulder and Scully, a younger Mulder and Scully. Wait till you see it. It was
cool.
fabulous. I was like, but oh my God, the trip that Mulder goes on, you will die laughing. I've watched it 3 times. It is hilarious. And I will say that, I don't know, should I say it? The people that you've been wanting to see will be briefly in it. I'll say that.
Oh, okay. Very
in
good.
This episode. It was a great episode. I gave the whole thing like a 10. I absolutely loved it. It was so freaking good. Yeah, it was really good. And then the ending was fabulous. People were asking me on Twitter about, are we getting Mulder and Scully? Yes, there is a lot of Mulder and Scully development. There's more, Mulder and Scully, Molly shippers will be happy, I think. Like that, and they haven't put number 6. I might not see number 6 ahead of time. I'm hoping, fingers crossed, but we'll see. So we will use our interview with this special guest after the episode. We'll do questions on our Facebook page, X-Files Addicts Facebook page. You have to like the page to qualify to then enter the contest to win a I Want to Believe poster. Right. Diane's going to get it, right?
That's right. Yep.
And I will post, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to post the 7 questions, and whoever gets them right, all correct answers, will go into a drawing, and I will draw it. I'll draw the name next week. We'll draw the name on after when we record our episode 6 and have the winner. So
that sounds
we'll
great.
That. All right, and I guess that's it. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
Nope. I think until next time, everybody have a good week and keep wanting to believe.
Yes, and home again Monday at 8 o'clock, and we'll talk next week. We're out of
All
here.
Right.
They said that you two have experience with these spooky cases.
We used to.
Next Monday.
Where was the victim found?
His head is in a trash can here.
Not even in the proper recycling bin.
It's a conspiracy of terror that's simply brilliant television.
It's not alive. It's not dead.
Magic. Which is impossible.
The X-Files, an all-new episode next Monday on Fox.
Thank you for tuning in to X-Files Addicts podcast. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at X-Files Addicts, Southgate Media Network at SMGPod, and be sure to like our X-Files Addicts Facebook page. For questions or comments, email us at xfilesaddicts@gmail.com, and maybe we'll read yours on air during the next broadcast. X-Files Addicts, inviting you to believe the truth is out there.